Thanks for being part of our program. We appreciate it. A listener who did not sign his name writes in and says, "Hello, Tom. I'm in the Air Force, and I'm going home on leave next week. This girl is flying up to see me. I have already banged her. She calls me and says, I have a question. She asked me if I will knock her up. She says that she will sign a paper saying I don't have to pay child support or have any responsibility at all. I said I will think about it. She also said that if I don't say yes, that she won't sleep with me when she comes to see me. She was a really good lay, too. I would just tell her something came up and not to come at all, but the arrangements with plane tickets and hotels have already been made, and I don't know how to play it. I don't want a kid, but I do want to get laid. Please give me back a response ASAP. Thanks a lot. I am not an attorney. Let me just say that first, but I don't need to be an attorney to tell you what I'm going to tell you. I have been married and divorced 4 times. I have had a prenuptial agreement, and you do learn a little bit in the course of that. I recommend, though, that anything I say of a legal nature you check with an attorney for accuracy. And I'm certain if there are any attorneys out there listening and they disagree with what I have to say, if they think I'm wrong, they'll tell me. They know I'm right. Guys, don't ever, 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 ever say yes to an arrangement like this. Ever. Not if the woman says she'll sign something. Not if she tells you she's a lesbian. Not if she tells you you'll never hear from me again. Don't ever do it. Number one, it doesn't matter what she signs. The way the law looks at it, even though we know in reality the child support is spent on cigarettes and Jack Daniels and rent and groceries for the adult, the way the law sees it is that child support is the right and property of the child. And therefore, you can't sign that away. Well, you can put it in writing. But let me give you an example here, pal, just so you understand. Let's say your friend is dead serious and that she will sign whatever you want her to sign. And she does, and she goes away. I don't even know how much you know about her. By the way, I might also add, before I say what I'm going to say here, that the military is notorious for signing over a big portion of your paycheck to women who make paternity claims against you, okay? The military is worse than any private company in that respect. But having said that, let me just tell you this much. Let's say she signs the piece of paper and goes away. And then she's hit by a bus or a car. Or she has a nerve attack and decides that she has to go on disability or whatever. And she's got a baby, and she can't afford to feed the baby. Or she can't afford even a 1-bedroom apartment so there's space to put the crib or whatever. And let's say that when she can't afford to feed the baby, she tries to live up to your agreement by not calling you. But instead, she goes down to the welfare department and signs up. Or she goes to the Department of Agriculture and signs up for food stamps. Do you know what those organizations are going to do? They're going to say to her, who's your daddy? Well, who's your kid's daddy? They're going to want to know who the father of the child is. And if she tells, which these women almost always do, They will come back without her involvement, and they will make sure that your paycheck is garnished so the money is taken out and handed over to her to feed her baby. That is, even if she signed a piece of paper saying she would never do it, they'll do it anyway, and there's nothing you can do about it. This is why I say to you, never, ever agree to do something like this. Ever. I have had calls from guys who say that they've got friends who are a lesbian couple, and they just need the sperm, and they, you don't have to have sex with her, don't have to spend any money, sign over your rights, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter. Do you realize there have been cases, just so you understand how far this goes, there are cases where women have been raped. Raped. Okay? And because they weren't planning on having sex that night, they got pregnant. And they didn't believe in abortion. So they went ahead and had the baby, who in essence is the child of a rapist. Are you aware that rapists come back and demand their visitation rights? Have even been paid child support? Have gotten custody of these babies? Are you aware of that? Don't play with your sperm. Do not let it out of your sight. Don't let it go places that you don't know where it's going. Never lose control of where it's going. Keep it inside a condom. Keep it to yourself. Do not let other people have it. Don't donate it. Don't give it away. Don't sell it. Don't make it available in any way. I can't emphasize this enough. Now, I say this as someone who likes sex as much as anybody, and more than most, and who's gotten laid I don't know how many times by I don't know how many people. And with a condom, and safe sex, and I've made it to 47 years old, and I'm as healthy as I've ever been, so don't even start on that. But the bottom line here is, I've also made it to 47 without any paternity suits, without letting my sperm out of my sight, because I don't make stupid agreements like this. And obviously this woman in this particular case of this email knows more than this guy does. Note that she said that if he won't impregnate her, she won't sleep with him. And of course, the guy just wants to get laid. Now, I am certain, if anything I said is wrong, that an attorney will call in, and you know what? I'm not expecting any calls from attorneys, because if I'm right, don't even bother calling in. Only call me if you're an attorney and I'm wrong, okay? That's number one. But number two, more importantly, do you remember a movie from the 80s? Maybe you've seen it on TV, called The Big Chill. This is a movie... It was a soundtrack album that actually had a movie glued onto it. And in the plot of the film, it was all these people who knew each other back in the hippy-dippy era, and they get back together for a reunion. And long story short, there's a couple. They're married. They used to be part of this group of friends. And I guess the deal is that two of the women, one who's married, one who's not, they have a conversation. I don't know where it was, in the kitchen or something. And the woman who is, if I recall the story correctly, the woman who is unmarried, hasn't had a kid, is talking about how she has not been able to conceive a child and she's getting older and whatever. So the woman who's married offers to lend her husband to her to impregnate her. Don't ever agree to something like that. People who donate sperm or sell it. I know that many people going to college who listen to this show have sold their sperm. You get $100 or $150. You go into a room with a Dixie cup and a copy of Playboy, and then you bring the results out to the nurse, and then you get your cash. You know why you don't want to do that? As easy as that. Come on, easy money. spank into a cup, and then, hey, you get each. You know why you don't want to do that? Because you now have women and children demanding to know the identity of the donor, so they can get medical histories, or so that the babies that are ultimately produced from that sperm can get to know their daddies. And we're just one step away from people demanding child support. We are one step away. That's the next step. That's where this is going. Used to be when you donated sperm, they kept your identity a secret, and now they're giving that information out. So there you are today with the Dixie Cup and a copy of Playboy. How would you like it 10 years from now? Knock at the door. There's your 9-year-old son outside the door wanting to get to know Daddy. You want that? You ever think ahead about stuff like that? I've made this announcement on the air many times. If you think you're my child, don't call me, don't write me, don't come knocking at the door, because I don't want my life to change at all. Don't do it. Not interested. No thanks. I like my life the way it is. Thank you. I've gotten this far. I'm this happy. Don't ruin it for me. If your life is already ruined, don't then ruin another life by coming over to my place and trying to talk to me. Because you know what? I won't take the call. I won't open the door. Done. No two ways about it. So I'm trying to tell you now, again, boys, just to review, don't donate your sperm. Don't sell your sperm. Do not have sex with women who say they're lesbians, or they say, don't worry, I'll sign away my rights, and I won't ask for child support. Don't do it. Now that I've said this, I want to know if you have done any of these things. Have you let your sperm out of your sight? Have you sold it? Have you donated it? Have you impregnated somebody and said, don't worry about it, I'll sign the papers, you don't have to worry about a thing? Have you gotten with your best friend's wife who he's having a hard time impregnating? I'd love to hear these stories. I'd love to hear about them. Have you helped somebody else get pregnant by donating sperm, either directly or with the turkey baster?
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
The advice, dump that bitch, is a little harsh and rude.
I don't care. I am harsh and rude.
The Tom Leykis Show on 97.1 LA's FM talk station. 0.1 KLSN
FM talk station.
Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Alex on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Alex, hey, Tom, how are you?
I'm okay, Alex.
I heard your subject there and called in because I was quite the sperm donor in college.
You were, back when nobody knew what would happen if you did this.
Hey, $75 a pop was pretty good. So,
Mm-hmm.
And, up to 4 times a month, and there was usually 3 of us that would go in and go out and have a good time afterwards.
Ever wonder if someone's going to contact you?
Yeah, I've wondered that often, Tom, if somebody can, but we were promised that there was no type of responsibility in that arena.
Right, but nobody cares about the promises. Now these promises being broken.
Well, I've not heard from my other 2 friends who I see often.
Not yet, and you may never, but I'm telling you, people are saying that the right of the child to know his parents overrides the right to privacy. Haven't you been seeing these stories?
I saw one. That's why I called in, to see how far this could go. That would suck.
Yeah, well, it could go all the way because people don't give a rat's ass about what you were promised.
Well, I can only hope and pray, but and it was in a city in Washington State, on the larger city on the east side with it was 2 old ladies that ran it, and they're not around anymore, so I don't know what the deal is.
Yeah, but somebody probably has their files. Somebody probably has their records. Somebody inherited that sperm bank or their property or something.
No, they got all the samples. They sold it.
They sold it to somebody else who now has the information.
Sure.
That means that person might just say, hey, I didn't make any promises.
Oi. Well, Tom, I'm fodder for your cannon, so...
Well, at least in your case, Alex, back then you didn't know that this could happen. What I'm trying to say to people today is do not donate your sperm. Do not sell it. Do not do anyone a favor by impregnating them, their wives, their best friends, or anybody else.
Yeah. If you're not made to breed, then just live your life as it is.
Damn straight. Thank you. James on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Tom, I am an attorney, a family law attorney here in Orange County, and I had a case a couple years ago where the undisputed facts were essentially that a woman, she sought out my client who was a wealthy businessman, and she told him that she didn't want to have kids. He was married. She just wanted to have fun. She promised him that she was on the pill. They had extensive conversations about this. And so he slept with her, and she intentionally got pregnant. These were pretty much the undisputed facts. She lied to him. She defrauded him. She got herself pregnant, and then she took him to court and asked for a lot of money in child support because he's a fairly wealthy guy. And even though he was defrauded, the law in California is that there's a public policy that outweighs that in favor of children being supported, and he is still paying child support today.
Right. Well, the fact is that it doesn't really matter what they agreed. It doesn't matter what they said. This is the only legal fraud.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And people should know that. It's a very risky business. What you're saying is true.
I think anybody who does this is nuts. And you know what? As good as sex is, no sex is worth the possible risk here.
You can, for the amount of money this guy is paying in child support, he could get a lot of sex and in a lot safer ways than with the way he did it.
No doubt about it, James. Thank you very much for the call. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. So I want to talk to you if you have sold sperm, donated sperm, given it away, had sex with your buddy's wife or your best friend or a lesbian couple. All these people said, oh, don't worry, I'll sign away my rights to child support. I just want to have a baby. You can help us. Have you done this? Are you thinking about doing it? 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number.
This is the Tom Leykis Show.
From my studio, 1-800-5800-TOM. Their telephone number. Thank you for tuning in. Got an inter-office memorandum here in one of these inter-office envelopes. My goodness, they've crossed out about 20 names on here. Let's see what this is. Anything I care about? Some press release. Cross that. And, you know what I think of inter-office envelopes? Where they ask you to cross out the name and use it the next time? Yeah. Stupid. Please. Saving any envelopes. How cheap can you be? 1-800-5800-TOM. is our telephone number. That's our telephone number, baby. Let's say hello here to Christine on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Chris. Hi, how are you?
I'm okay. My name's not Christine, but that's okay.
I was going to say this is Christine.
Hi.
I'm 43. I'm calling on behalf of my daughter because she's not with me right now, but she's been arguing with me for the last 2 months about wanting to donate her eggs. And I want to warn girls out there for the same thing that you're talking about today. I completely agree with you.
You know, I'm glad you brought that up because I had this argument with an ex-girlfriend who was going to college, and she needed money, and she wanted to donate eggs. And, you know, I usually speak from the guy's point of view here, but you're absolutely right. Girls who give their eggs are in the same danger that one day the product of their little experiment is going to be knocking at the door.
Exactly. And I think it's even more dangerous because with the sperm, it would be harder. I mean, there's a lot of sperm donors, and the woman might go to a bank, and they might not know or keep track of who gave the sperm. But with an egg donor, it's very specific. They make you fill out a profile. The people you give it to know exactly who you are. They don't know your name, but they have a complete profile on you. And if that mom dies, then I would think that the girl who donated the egg is going to have legal liability.
Well, at one time we would have believed that wasn't true, and for a generation of people, maybe it wasn't. But you know what? It's a new era. We are a litigious society. People sue about everything. Why would you want to take that chance? I would say, yeah, you're right, Christine. Don't donate eggs or sperm. Don't donate them. Don't give them away. Don't sell them. Do not be a Look at all the heartbreak people have had with surrogate motherhood, for example. All the people who said, all I want you to do is have our baby. We'll give you the eggs and the sperm, and we'll pay all your expenses. We'll pay you $10,000 to do it. And the woman gets pregnant and goes 9 months, and then she has a baby. She says, "Wait a minute, I'm filing a lawsuit. I'm keeping it's my baby."
Exactly.
This happens,
and it's a lot more. My daughter really wants to do this because they're promising her $10,000 if she's chosen. I mean, it's a lot more than $100 that the guy's going to get.
Yep. You're right about that, Christine. I agree with you, and I thank you. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. This is Robert on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom. How are you?
All right, Robert.
I have to say I kind of got lucky. When I was 20, and I'm about 42 right now, my older sister's girlfriend, I think, just wanted our lineage. Dad's a doctor. Mom was a professor at a college locally on the East Coast, and my sister was a junior in college. She had a girlfriend. Just wanted a baby. I even think she had a boyfriend. I slept with her twice. I got a son somewhere that's 19 years old.
And
how
would you feel if that kid showed up at your door?
Well, I have two of my own sons, and I never even told them about it, or my wife.
That's exactly why you wouldn't want him showing up at your door.
Well, I don't even think that, the girl would do that.
Well, you say that now. You think the other people thought that would happen?
Well, other than if it was a medical reason, say the kid had allergies or needed a transplant or something.
They don't need to visit your house and change your life. They could send an email. Huh?
I know that the girl is married now, and the kid has a father. It was supposedly that she's been telling the kid that it's
But somebody in that family knows the truth.
Well,
somebody knows.
Because I think it's just her, my sister, and me.
Right, and somebody who could get drunk at a party. You know how these things happen.
Yeah.
Did your mom ever tell you?
But no child support never came at me for anything. It was, I thought I did her a favor, and it was, if it's done right. I mean, if say something catastrophic happened to the girl, and nobody would ever know that I was really the father. If you had paperwork, sure, you go do it and donate and all that. I can see where I don't think I would do it again because, very litigious.
Litigious, yes, it's a litigious society.
It's very litigious nowadays, but I think
not litigious.
Very 20 years ago.
Litigious. Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. Bryce on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, sir. It's an honor.
I know.
Yeah, I bet. It's the first time I've ever met your criteria. I don't know if, I'm sure you think that it was a mistake, but about 3 years ago, two of my best friends were lesbians, and they said they wanted to bring somebody in the world, so went over there and every day for a week and cup, and they went back with what looked like some kind of a cattle insemination kit and dumped the sperm in, and I was told like a month later that they were positive, and she turned, I don't know, it was July 29th, but she turned 3 on July 29th.
Now, you understand if those two broke up?
No, they're still together.
No. I said, you understand that if those two broke up, and one of them decided, screw you. Hey, if I'm not living with you, I'm not paying for that kid. That's your kid. It's not my kid. They did that, and the one who was left with the kid decided to apply for some kind of public assistance. You're screwed.
Oh, it's the truth. I accepted that. It was one of those things where you're 25 years old and you're real comfortable and you know that you stand a real good. I had the wrong kind of lifestyle. I don't really want to be married with kids at any point in my life, so I had that morbid curiosity to know what my spawn was going to look like. So, yeah, if I run the risk of having a pissed off lesbian show up at my door with a shotgun. She doesn't even have to be pissed off.
Yeah, don't you understand? It could be completely innocent. For example, she could try to keep... this is how it always happens. Well, not always, but frequently, okay? So she agrees to keep to the agreement. Mm-hmm. Doesn't call you for money, doesn't ask you for anything, doesn't sue you, nothing. She quietly goes off and applies for welfare or food stamps or unemployment or something, okay? You with me?
I definitely...
So then what happens is she doesn't contact you, but the people at the welfare department say, all right, who's the father of your child? Mm-hmm. Is he paying you child support? And when she says no, they say, okay, we'll take care of it. And then they contact your employer and take the money. Mm-hmm. That's how it works. So even if she kept her promise to you, it doesn't matter. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So your whole life and your financial freedom hangs on whether these two stay together and stay employed.
Oh, it's the second time they've done it. They had another, I'm told, hetero child, so they could. I guess they wanted a matching pair. That's why they talked to me.
Mm-hmm. Well,
they had a child.
Would you do it? Would you do it again now?
Oh God, no. Do you know how much I caught from my family for the first time? I don't have any secrets. I'll tell everybody. Why not? But. Yeah, no, I don't think, just for the hell I caught, I would do it again. But, yeah, I know that my entire future and, 40% of my paycheck hangs in the balance every day. But, I don't know, I didn't say it was smart. I just wanted to call and let you know that it does happen.
I know it happens, and I'm trying to teach the boys out there not to do what you did. That's the bottom line. 1-800-5800-TOM. Here comes Jerry on the Tom Leykis Show. Here's a horror story for you. Jerry.
Hey, Tom, how you doing?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, well, I kind of put myself through college, frequenting a couple of the sperm banks here, and pretty regularly, weekly, at for about 4 years, and that was an easy way of keeping my eyes on the girls and on the studies and not having to work very hard. But, that's come back to haunt me now. I'm working on number 2 lawsuits. Actually, 3 of the results of that.
Lawsuits? Wait a minute. Lawsuits?
Lawsuits.
Now, you donated to sperm banks. You didn't knock up a chick.
No.
You donated to sperm banks. Tell me how you got sued.
Well, the sperm bank got into financial trouble, and the owners of that, I guess they get lots of inquiries from kids, and the only way that it's supposed to happen is if you've got a willing inquirer and a willing recipient, they'll put them together. But, right. That's how it's supposed to happen, but they got into financial trouble and basically...
threw you under the bus.
Told the information to the kids, and 2 of them got together, and one lawyer and sued me. And
they sued you for what, child support?
Oh, alienation of affection, damages, and back support.
Wow.
Yeah, that's... and I'm working on the second one right now. This is just one, all from that one particular bank.
Unbelievable. And how many times did you contribute?
Well, there was 3 places that I contributed. There was only one that was a problem, or ended up so far being a problem, and I was down there...
Yeah, but of course they could create, I don't know, what do you give up, 1 million sperm every time? I mean...
Probably. I did that for 4 years every week.
So you could be sued dozens of times.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for making my day.
Well, I'm not so much trying to make your day as save everybody else from being in your position.
Yeah, and, my recourse is to go back against the people at the sperm bank, which are shut down and gone and penniless. I mean, that's my recourse, and, I'm just fighting the battle.
Wow.
I ended up settling out of court with the first 2, and they each, my legal fees were about $40,000-$50,000, and I gave them $100,000 each to go away. I mean, I'm not short of cash, but I don't want to be doing this, too many times.
Holy cow. Did anyone else that you know of get nailed that way?
Well, I didn't have any buddies that, that I was doing this with. This was just in lieu of actually having to do some real work. I mean, it seemed like a great idea at the time. Go down there and set up the cup, and, as I said, you're only supposed to do it once, but I had three separate firms that I went to, and
Wow.
It was a great way to get through college, but, it seemed like a great idea, but 15 years later, man, I'm paying the piper.
I hope the other boys listen to you, Jerry. Thank you.
Tom. 1-800-5800-TOM. Tom.
Hey, you want to hear a spanking?
Yeah, of course I do.
All right. How'd you like that?
That was pretty good.
My ass is red.
The Tom Leykis Show on 97.1, the West Side FM talk station.
I felt cool when I started, like a rebel.
My first cigarette?
FM talk station.
Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. This is Barbara on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi.
Yes, I was telling you, my daughter...
Barbara's listening in Pittsburgh on the all-belching station, WERP.
That's us down here. But as I was telling you, you're talking about sperm donors and people that are carrying babies for other couples.
Yes.
And my daughter, who's a nurse, and she's 26 years old, has 2 children of her own and decided to become a gestational carrier for another couple that couldn't have a baby. This couple is based out of Maryland, and they decided in their 7th month that they no longer wanted to be married. Now she's in her 8th month of pregnancy, and it looks like she's going to have another baby because neither of the parents want the child.
Oh, boy. That's insane.
I mean, yeah, they paid her a little bit of money to carry this child for them because they wanted a baby, and now it looks like she's going to end up raising a child that is not even biologically hers.
Another thing that could go wrong I didn't even think of. Unbelievable. Leslie on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Tom?
Is that a question or a statement?
I just want to make sure you're there.
No, I left the room.
Well, I'm calling because I was an egg donor myself, and it was one of the worst things I've ever gone through. There was a caller you had, 4 or 5 callers ago, and she's the reason why I called in. She was saying how her daughter wants to be an egg donor,
right.
And I would not wish it on anybody. Your ovaries are less than a fingernail in size when they're normal size. And after they had done pumping you with shots, which you have to take every day, you have to have someone help you take these shots, like in your lower back or in your ass or in your butt somewhere.
Your ass, yeah.
Every single day, and it's not fun. And these hormones make your body feel so you balloon up, and by the time they even call it harvesting your eggs. By the time they harvest my eggs, they took 23 eggs from me. And these 23 eggs are in a freezer somewhere, and I don't even know how many of these there are out there. But it was painful, it hurt, and I don't want anyone to ever have to go through that. It's awful. I mean, seriously, if anyone ever wants to do it, you got to think about it, talk to people who have done it, because it's nothing like sperm donating where you just go in there and give them your sperm and you're done. It's like a whole month process.
Yeah.
Not more.
It's a lot more fun to donate sperm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Much more fun.
No doubt about that. Leslie, thank you for the call. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Holly on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom.
Holly.
I just have to tell you that there's a lot of things that you say at night that I don't agree with, but you're kind of like a train wreck. I just have to listen. But tonight, I totally agree with everything that you say because I think guys get screwed way big when it comes to women having babies. And not even that. I read an article about a man who had what he thought was 3 of his kids with a woman. Come to find out, she had had an affair, so he didn't want to pay the child support or anything.
But he had to anyway, I know.
The Tom Leykis Show.